we all love to live our lives as if there is some type of meaning. Well, let's ask ourselves, why do we insist upon living life as if life has meaning? I would argue because the evidence is we were hardwired in such a way as to understand meaning and purpose in life.
All right, so you're going to see this woman start interrupting Cliffe Knechtle here. He's a street preacher and a pastor. He goes all around the U.S. Talking at college campuses. You've probably seen him on YouTube. Ask Cliffe is his channel. But this woman here, who is super blurry right now, you're going to see her start interrupting, and it's going to ensue quite the entertaining conversation. So let's check it.
But if there is no God,
Please.
life is meaningless, sir. She can do whatever she wants to. That's her worldview. So she can do whatever she wants to.
Actually, I'm not allowed to say my worldview because these are sexist who don't like to let women speak.
Man,
And
you
it's
can
not
speak
that I
anytime
don't
you
believe
want
that
to.
Your God's right, but I don't believe in the Bible.
Why is woman
Guess
valuable?
what?
Why is woman valuable?
I don't really know, according to you.
Well, if you accuse both of us of being sexist, I'm sure you have some type of view of why woman is valuable. Now tell us, why is woman valuable? If we're two sexist guys.
You,
Yeah?
myself, as a human on this earth,
Yes?
I'm a citizen of the world, and my
Yes.
purpose is to do good. You're spreading hate and saying that your chosen people who believe in your Bible are correct.
That's
and
not
that
what
is
I've said at
not
all.
the correct. Yes, you're trying to be an absolute
I said
fool.
flat out to this man, I said, if I say I believe in Jesus and hate him, what am I?
You're
And this
a
guy,
hypocrite, and
thank
you
you.
are a hypocrite,
Exactly.
and that's why you're up
So
here
you know very,
talking.
very well that if anybody says I believe in Jesus and I hate women or I hate people, they're a hypocrite.
You're
Because
saying
Christ
if
commands his
people
followers to
hold beliefs
love.
different than you, they're wrong.
Pardon?
And that's what you're saying, and it's just annoying. I'm so sick of seeing this bull on campus. Can't you go film your little project somewhere else?
Look,
like, I am so tired of just having to walk around on my campus and get preached at about the Bible. Like, go somewhere else. I don't want to go away. I want this to go away. Because guess what I believe? I believe that I am God. I am God. I am my
quite the
own
claim.
What does
God.
that mean, you're God?
It means that I create my own reality and I manifest what I want to see in this world.
Go create your own
And
reality
I am-
somewhere else. We're trying to have a discussion.
Yeah, I am creating my own reality right here. I'm saying your discussion is stupid and it shouldn't go on. It's pointless.
We
and it's an
disagree with each other, so
exercise
we're
in
respecting and
duality.
disagreeing.
Look, there's a difference between what you're doing and what we're doing. What you're doing is you're disrespecting both of us, just talking over us. You literally said you're God. And what
Yeah.
we're trying to do is have an intelligent discussion. We disagree, fundamentally.
You're having
but
an
we
intelligent
value.
discussion by misquoting people.
I like this guy.
Spreading misinformation. It's annoying and I'm making a mockery of you because that's what it deserves
I'm
to be
sorry
made of
we're
you.
annoying you, but there's a real virtue in being intellectually honest and trying to air your opinions out and learn the weaknesses of your views and the strengths of other views. That's why even if I disagree with this man, I respect him. I'm glad he comes here.
I don't
And-
want him coming in here anymore. I want him to leave.
Respects.
All right, I'm convinced that you have value
Thank you.
because you're not pawn scum evolved to a higher order. You're a human being, a precious human being created in the image of God. And God loves you so
I
much.
don't believe I'm created in the image of your God. I'm
not
created
my
in
God.
the image of a matrilineal God. Why don't you talk about the pagan religions that existed before the Bible ever? Why is history confined to you to a really small
All right,
period
what
of time?
pagan God do you believe in?
All of them.
Which one?
All of them. I believe in the African gods. I believe in the Celtic gods. I believe in the Buddhist gods and the Hindu gods.
Okay. So you believe that every God exists?
Yes.
All right. So you have no problem with Jesus, right?
No, I don't have any problem
We're
with
just
Jesus.
out here
My
talking about
problem
Jesus.
with you and your Jesus is can't you just take it somewhere else? It's not.
Oh, well, I've been invited here by students. Okay, so
Apparently you're
students have
invited by
invited.
some students, but man, other students, you're just annoying.
Oh,
You're
no.
annoying.
Other open-minded students, like this gentleman who was just here dialoguing with me, understand that a liberal arts education is based on a free
Why do you
exchange of
misquote
ideas.
Mark Twain then? Why are you misrepresenting
I
Mark
haven't
Twain?
misrepresented
yes, you
Mark
have.
Twain.
Mark Twain is an atheist. Why are you
I
misrepresenting
never
his
said he was a
views?
Christian. I simply said Mark Twain once said, "It's not the parts of
Then
Bible I
why-
don't
but
understand
why
that
are you
disturb me.
trying
It's
to
parts of Bible I
co-opt
do."
Mark Twain for your thing by misquoting
Because
him?
I agree with that part of Mark Twain's thinking.
Well, why
the
don't
Bible
you
is
say
all
other
too clear.
quotes about God?
Let
I-
someone else speak.
I don't really want to.
right, I'm talking with you. You're talking with me. Okay, now, what do you think about Jesus Christ?
I think he's a story, like any other story.
So she believes in every god except Jesus. Okay.
Good story, bad story?
I mean, I guess it's a pretty good story because it's made its way into lots of literature, and there's lots of dark magic stuff you can read about resurrecting yourself. So, I mean, I think he was a practitioner of black magic, yes.
Is there anybody else other than Jesus that you know of that's risen from the dead?
I know the Nazis were experimenting with it, and they did a lot of black magic experimentations.
The Nazis?
Yeah.
But they didn't really raise anybody from the dead, did they?
I mean, there's lots of stories about people raising from the dead. It's a very common story throughout all of the Greek mythology, and the sun god in particular is very common. Like if you know the story of Apollo, I mean, it's just a motif that repeats itself over and over again, the story of the sun god rising. I mean, the resurrection is all part of it.
Right.
And I mean, I'm sure you know about Constantine too, right? Like the Byzantine Empire and how Constantine merged pagan values together with the Christian holidays to create harmony, so that Christianity actually has a lot of elements of older pagan religions involved in it that were enmeshed together as a political movement and not part of anything necessarily religious. And then there's a lot of aspects of Christianity that are political and not necessarily religious.
Right.
And a lot of people use religion to justify political goals
They sure
and
do.
suppress people.
We agree. We absolutely agree. Now let me ask you something. Are you a follower of Christ? Yes? Yes, ma'am.
I don't want to stop real quick by just saying that I don't really understand what this woman is fighting for, and I don't really think she knows what she's fighting for either. She's kind of all over the place, it seems, in her quote-unquote arguments, which aren't really much of arguments. She's jumping around from topic to topic, talking about how he's a sexist pig or whatever. She bleeped it out, whatever. And then she starts talking about how, Christianity is a story, but every other god is real, and Nazis, and she's all over the place, and it seems like she's educated, but she doesn't really know what she's talking about. She just knows a lot of buzzwords and stories and stuff like that, and just tries to compile them all together, and it ends up kind of jumbled and not really making that much sense, but we'll see what else she has to say.
Could you come here a second? Now, why would this woman be a follower of Jesus Christ in light of the fact that 100 years ago, in this state, in this country, white Christians oppressed her great-grandmother and great-grandfather? See, I would argue that this woman has a real open mind. This woman is not going to give a white Christian racist the power to turn her off to the true Jesus Christ, who did not have a racist bone in his body. Instead, in his best-known parable, the parable of the Good Samaritan, found in Luke chapter 10, Jesus makes a direct frontal attack on racism. So you see, this woman has not given people who've abused Christ, twisted Christ, the power to turn her off to the true Jesus, who didn't have a racist bone in his body, who attacked racism, and communicated that all people have equal value because we're all created in the image of God.
And I would argue that she's had her culture stolen by white men like you, who have suppressed her mother homeland religion and her African roots by telling her the ethocentric view of Christianity she must accept to fit into your society.
Good.
Typical
now
argument.
Let's let her speak. I've spoken. Now, ma'am, have you accepted Jesus Christ into your life because white people have forced you or brainwashed your mom and dad?
No, it's clear. You can look at the Bible and see that he obviously doesn't agree with slavery.
Good.
And that slavery was taken out of context and twisted what the Bible said to fit something that was economically profitable at that time.
She's smart.
Does she sound brainwashed to you?
Do you know your ancestors? Do you know your great-grandmother, your grandmother before that? Do you know where they came from?
Yeah.
And where did they come from? What's their history?
Africa being brought here as slaves.
And do you know anything about their oral traditions? Do you know what they believed in Africa? Do you know what tribe they belonged to? Or has your history been stolen from you?
Just because I'm not there now, that's not to say I would still be there even if people had, even if the slave trade hadn't existed. That's not to say that I would have stayed in Africa anyway. I could have ended up in Europe or here just as easily from the
But do you not want to know about your ancestors and their time when they were in Africa? Do you not think it's worthy? Do you not think their culture is worth something? Or do you prefer the culture that has been given to you by the white people?
I don't think making me a follower of Christ means I don't want to know my history and ancestry.
Maybe you haven't sought out that information. I can tell you everything about my ancestors.
So?
Okay, that's not a case for against Christ anymore. If I could do the research and tell you history about my ancestors as well, that's still not going to change the truth of Christ.
That's a very good point. Did you get it?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Good. Think about it. That woman spoke truth. I come from Switzerland. My dad was an immigrant from Switzerland. It doesn't change Jesus Christ. Just because you come from Africa or the Middle East or Europe or South America or Asia doesn't change the truth about Jesus Christ.
I think I make my point pretty clear. She has her history robbed from her by people like you who try to present their narrative of history that is incorrect.
Oh, I've heard that point made by you, yes, but I've also heard her state very clearly that she has no problem studying her history, and she can study her history anytime she wants to and delve into it as deeply as she wants to. And I hope that you will respect her freedom to study exactly what she wants to study, when she wants to study it. And I hope that you would not be so manipulative as to denigrate her by saying, if you haven't studied something, then you're sad.
I'm kind of dumbfounded a little bit at what she's saying, because it sounds like she's really has no interest in actually having a conversation and actually learning something at all. She's kind of just coming in again with her knowledge and spouting off things, saying that it's a white man's religion and that this other woman, this African American woman, had her culture and it all stolen from her and just forced this white man's religion, which, by the way, if you don't know, most Christians are actually African American women. So that whole idea that Christianity is a white man's religion is just completely false, but that's not the point. The point is, I don't think she knows what she's actually arguing. She's just, for some reason, and this, we don't know why, but she obviously has a problem with Jesus and Christianity in general, and so she's just trying to say as many different things as she possibly can say to try to discredit it, completely ignoring any and every other opposing argument other than what she already believes, because I don't think she cares. All she cares about is, I don't know. I really don't know. That's the thing. I'm confused as to what she's arguing for, and I think she's confused as to what she's arguing for as well. Now, with that being said, I think that Cliffe handled this situation very, very good. As you can see, he stays very calm the entire time, and he speaks to everyone, even this woman who is at some points being very, very rude, calling him all kinds of names and stuff. He stays very calm the whole time, and he talks to everyone with such great respect, which I don't think I would be able to do. I try to, but I feel like I would definitely lose it pretty quickly. But I wish that I could be that patient as Cliffe someday. But again, going back to this woman, I feel sorry for her almost, because again, it seems like she doesn't really know what she's trying to do. It seems like she's lost and for some reason doesn't like Jesus or Christianity for some reason. Maybe it was something that happened. Maybe she grew up Christian and had some experiences or something, but it's pure speculation. I have no idea. But obviously something happened to where she's fine with every other god and every other religion, just not Jesus and not Christianity. So I don't know why, but she does bring up a lot of quite typical arguments that people bring up, but again, I don't think that's really her fault. She's just confused. She doesn't really know what she's fighting for, or, you know, what to bring up or how to disprove it. She just says as much as she can to try to, I don't know. I really don't know what her purpose in doing this is. She seems annoyed that they're there, but other than that, I don't know what her problem with Jesus is, or Christianity in general. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think. What do you think was going through her mind when she's saying all these things? Is she upset at Cliffe himself? Is she upset at Jesus? Is she upset at Christianity? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you do enjoy this new style, you know, kind of reactionary videos, please give this a like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll hope to make some more of these in the future. But with that, that's about it, guys. I'll see you. Peace.